Boom. What's up, y'all? Happy football season. Tonight, we have the Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have college football on Saturday with the ACC and the Big 12 kicking off. Then Sunday and Monday, we have NFL action all day, and then 2 games on Monday night. I'm going to be in football overload mode all weekend. I'm stoked. I'm excited. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun season, hopefully. It's going to be different, but hopefully it'll be fun. 2020 has been a strange year, to say the least. It's robbed us of a lot of stuff, but Lord willing, 2020 will not rob us of football. So I'm excited, as you can see. I wanted to hop on here and do a quick little rundown of my NFL predictions, both with playoffs and my 2020 like player awards and stuff like that, like MVP and whatnot. Also a few other topics that I haven't had a chance to write about just yet, but we'll hopefully have up soon. Trying to work my day job as well as write and stuff. It can be time consuming, and it waited to the last minute once again to start writing and prepare for football season and all that. But yeah, most of, as you can see, leader of the pack sports. I will do. I'll mainly write about the NFL this season as I did last year. College is kind of like my outlet to fanboy a little bit and just get more excited. NFL, I get excited too. Don't get me wrong, but I try and keep the NFL as my like professional type thing where I'd try and not have as much fan as and whatnot. So that's my plan for this season. Once again, is to write more about the NFL and be more analytical and take the fanness out and let college be my fan stuff. I'll probably still write, as y'all know, I'm a huge Florida State fan. I'll probably write a few articles here and there about Florida State, and depending on how they're doing, if Norvell gets things rolling or if they start sucking or something, I might put some stuff up. But I don't know, I might do a few college things, probably ACC related or Florida State, or if there's like a big story or something like that. But college football playoff, I'll hit things here and there. But most of what I write will be NFL related. If you want me to write about something, feel free to DM me, text me, hit me up, and I will love to write something about your team or a specific topic. Just let me know. I'm all about it. I'm open ears. I love writing, breaking down stuff, and just, seeing what I can find. I love it. It's fun. It's my passion. So, further ado, let's get into my NFL 2020 rundown. What do we got here? Got my laptop, little setup right here. Throughout the season, I will probably also do more of these, whether they're Facebook Lives or recorded things that I post the following day or that night or something. We'll see. Just play it by ear. You never know. So 2020 rundown. Here we go. These are my division winners. Or actually, no, first I'll give you my playoffs, and then we'll go division by division on where I think teams will line up, and I might say a little something or whatever about each team. So here we go. My 2020 playoff predictions right now for the AFC. 1 seed, Kansas City Chiefs. They are the reigning Super Bowl champs. They just re-signed Mahomes. They signed Kelsey. They added Clyde Edward-Helaire, a very dynamic running back. This team's still going to be really good. I'm excited to watch them once again, but I got them at the 1 seed. Just, you can't really go wrong with Kansas City Chiefs right now. They're a very loaded team and a very, very well-coached team. At 2, I have the Baltimore Ravens. You can't dispute what Lamar Jackson did last year. He was insane. He proved me wrong. I wanted to see more, and he definitely outdid himself last year, and I'm looking forward to see what they do this year. They added J.K. Dobbins. At running backs, I mean, they're going to be a heavy, heavy run team with Lamar running and throwing, as well as their backfield. It's going to be interesting to watch what they do. I'm excited, but I got them at the 2 seed in the AFC. Bills at number 3 for the first time in, a decade, I think. The Patriots, I don't think, will win the AFC East. The Bills are the strongest team in that division. Great defense. They added Stephon Diggs to give Josh. I just went blank on his name. For the quarterback to have a deep threat. It's going to come to me in a second. But I got the Bills at the three seed in the AFC. Titans are there at 4. I originally was going to have the Colts winning the AFC South, but with the recent move to acquire Jadeveon Clowney, I was like, nope, Titans it is. I think the Titans are a really, really good team. Tannehill, hopefully, he'll probably regress to the mean a little bit, but they are still a very talented team, both offensively and defensively. So Titans are going to be a fun team to watch, I believe, but the addition of Jadeveon Clowney, in my opinion, is what's going to put them over the top and win the AFC South. Our wild cards, don't forget, there's going to be 7 teams this season in the playoffs. So we have 3 wild cards. Steelers are a wild card. Colts are a wild card. The addition of Phillip Rivers and the way they drafted, I think, is going to be big for the Colts. They could go back and forth with the Titans, but I think the Titans will end up winning that division. But the Colts will make the playoffs because they have a best offensive line, a talented offense. They added a great defensive pass rusher from the 49ers. Forgot his name. I should have wrote some of these down. I'm sorry, guys. The trade. But the Colts there at 6. And then I got the Broncos. So I know they just lost Von Miller, and that's a huge blow to their defense. But I think this Broncos team is going to be interesting. They added a ton of offensive talent. They got Pat Shurmur as their OC. Drew Lock ended the season strong. Their defense, yes, losing Von Miller is a blow, but they're still a talented team overall. So I got the Broncos sliding in at 7. So AFC, 1 seed Chiefs, 2 seed Ravens, 3 seed Bills, Titans 4 seed, Steelers 5, Colts 6, Broncos 7. Should be interesting. Again, predictions right here. In the NFC, we got the Saints with the 1 seed. It's hard to argue against them with how well they've been over the last couple of years. I think this is probably their last hoorah type deal. So they got to win it this year, or it's going to be rebuild mode, or I don't know what's going to happen. But Drew Brees is getting up there, and yeah, they got to do something this year. They can't afford another a tough playoff loss like they have in the last 3 years. I got the Vikings at the 2 seed. Some might think that's crazy, but their defense this season is going to be awesome. They just acquired Yannick Ngakoue, who's going to be awesome up there, I believe. Their offense, we'll have to see what happens with the new offensive coordinator, which should be interesting. I just forgot his name. Gary Kubiak, that's who they hired. Kubiak's going to be their OC. He's had he was a good head coach. He's a really, really good offensive coach. But Kubiak making the calls up there for them. Kirk Cousins, he's got the rap and not winning the big game. But they got Dalvin Cook as long as he's healthy. Solid team. The loss of Diggs will hurt, but Thielen, Rudolph, and then they just drafted Justin Jefferson out of LSU. So I think they're going to be decent, but I think that's going to be a big-time defensive team that's going to rely heavy on it. And just given their division, Green Bay, we don't know. Last year, their defense played pretty well. Offense, they didn't have, other than Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones, they just couldn't produce a whole lot. They had a good record and all, but I don't know. They didn't really help Aaron Rodgers out with the draft or anything. So love to see. But yeah, I got the Vikings at 2. Eagles sliding in at 3. Lord willing, there's not a lot of injuries. Eagles have suffered a ton of injuries the last 2 seasons since winning the Super Bowl. It's been the secondary, the defensive line, wide receivers. Carson Wentz has had his in and out of the lineup type deal. But I think overall, the Eagles have a very, very, very good team, and they play in a division where it's them and the Cowboys. The Giants, I believe, will be better, but they're still a work in progress team. And the Washington football team, or whatever we're going to call them, they're just a mess. I mean, yeah, they're a mess. We'll just leave it at that. So I got the Eagles at 3, Seahawks in at the 4 seed. And the NFC West this year is going to be wild. I think that's going to be one of the toughest, funnest divisions to watch in football this season. But I got the Seahawks coming out on top there, mainly just Russell Wilson. I'm a huge Russell Wilson fan. The dude is incredible, the magician. Just he works his magic. But I got them pulling it out in that division. 5 seed, we got the 49ers getting back in there. They have a really good defensive line. They've got some injuries at the receiver position right now, but Kyle Shanahan's a heck of a head coach. Garoppolo, say what you want, the dude has a great record, and he's a solid quarterback. You can't argue with that. But I think they're going to be there at the 5th seed, at the first wild card. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously they got Tom Brady, they got Gronk, they have so many weapons. They just had a Fournette. They have a really good defense. Todd Bowles is a hell of a defensive coordinator. So I got them at the 6th seed. But that battle between the Buccaneers and the Saints for the NFC South, gosh, that's going to be exciting and a lot of fun. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees twice in the season. Wow. Wow, that's all I can say is wow. And then I got the Cowboys in at number 7. I'm not a Cowboys guy, as many of y'all know, but they are still a talented team. And also given they play in the NFC East, where it's going to be the Cowboys and the Eagles battling back and forth for who wins the division and who slides into that last wild card spot. I got the Cowboys. They're a talented team. I got to give them their props for that. But yeah, so that's the rundown of my playoff predictions for this year. And then my division breakdown. Let's see. AFC East, like I said, I got the Bills winning it. I do have the Patriots finishing 2nd. They had a lot of players opt out, but I'm excited to see what Cam Newton does with Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator. Julian Edelman's there. You know, I think that there could be some excitement there, but still, I don't think the Patriots are going to do much this year. I think Cam Newton will have a decent year, but it's just they don't have a lot to work with. But we'll see. I'm excited to see what they do, but I got them finishing 2nd in the AFC East. I got the Dolphins finishing 3rd. They brought in a ton of talent. They are a work in progress type team. Flores is everybody says he's a heck of a head coach. What he did last year to win 4 or 5 games was pretty impressive, given they didn't have anybody on that team. So I got them at the 3 seed, or the finishing 3rd in the AFC East. And then I got the New York Jets finishing 4th in the AFC East. Jets are just a dumpster fire, kind of like the Washington football team, just dumpster fire. Last season, actually, I predicted the Jets to be my surprise team or whatever. Boy, did that backfire. Yeah, I don't have much faith in them. All right. AFC North, Ravens at number 1. I gave a rundown of them already. Steelers at number 2. I got the Browns at finishing 3rd. They're a talented team, new head coach. It's going to be interesting, exciting to see what they do. Can they put it all together? Can Baker bounce back? Can Odell? Can Jarvis Landry? Can they start meshing in the run game? They re-signed Kareem Hunt, and so the Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, how's that going to balance out? Offensively, they got a ton of weapons, so we'll see how that works out. Defensively, I mean, they're solid, but I still got them finishing 3rd, just new head coach, a lot of unknowns still, other than they have a talented roster. And then Bengals at number 4 in the AFC North. Joe Burrow, I'm excited to see what he does. He's not going to have a lot other than AJ Green, I believe. I don't know who else they have at receiver. That's going to be tough. Tough. He definitely does not have the same talent that he had at LSU last year, but we'll see. I got them finishing 4th though in that division. AFC South, Titans and Colts 1 and 2, as I said. Texans, I think, take a step back. The loss of DeAndre Hopkins and just kind of the offseason they had. I think Deshaun Watson is going to have to do kind of what Russell Wilson has done. the past couple of years where he's really had to create the offense by himself and just get after it. I think they just take some steps back, mainly because of Bill O'Brien's GMing abilities and whatnot. And I don't think he made some smart moves. But, I mean, he's done well as a coach there, and he's got them in the playoffs the past several years, and they've had a winning record, I want to say, every year he's been there. But I think this is the year where things kind of come back to bite them. I do think Deshaun Watson has a really good year, but I don't think he's going to have enough around him to fully flourish, and the team as a whole I just don't think is going to be as good. And then the Jaguars, we're just going to write them off. They're tanking like crazy, man. That's another dumpster fire team, so we'll move past them. AFC West, Chiefs 1, Broncos 2. I already hit on those teams a little bit. The Raiders, I got at 3. We'll see. The John Gruden experiment. This is what, year 3 of the John Gruden experiment? I don't know. And then I got the Chargers at 4, just transitioning from a new quarterback. Derwin James is hurt, out for the season, which is a major blow. Just transitioning, man. They had a bad offensive line. No Phillip Rivers. They have a talented offense, but it's just, yeah, that transition, just anytime you have that quarterback move right there, it's going to be interesting. Switching to the NFC now. NFC East, Eagles, Cowboys 1 and 2. That could flip-flop. We never know, but those two are going to be battling right there. As of right now, I got the Eagles winning the division. Giants, I think, are going to be, as I said, an improved team with Barkley, Joe Judge as the new head coach. Daniel Jones had his moments last year, but again, he didn't have a whole lot of talent outside of Barkley to work with. So I think they're going to be an improved team, but still not a very good team, if that makes sense. And then the Washington team, yeah, again, we'll leave them. NFC North, Vikings winning it. Packers coming in at number 2. As I said before, Aaron Rodgers just does not have a lot of help outside of Adams and Aaron Jones. And he's getting up there in age. The defense played well last season. They did have their moments where they didn't perform well, like in the playoffs. But I just don't think Aaron Rodgers has the supporting cast that can get him through or take the Packers to that next level. And then I got the Bears at 3. I think the Bears are a team with quarterback problems. They have a really good head coach in Matt Nagy. They have a pretty talented roster, but quarterback play is their ultimate downfall. It is absolutely horrible. They bring in Nick Foles, who's never started a 16-game season, to go along with Mitch Trubisky, who took some major steps backwards last year. I don't know what to say. I think given Matt Nagy's coaching abilities, the Bears will be decent, but still, just those quarterback problems are going to haunt them until they draft a new quarterback. I don't think Trubisky's the guy, and I know for a fact Nick Foles is not the guy. He had a great 4 or 5 game run with the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl, but let's be honest, people. Nick Foles is what he is, unfortunately. Lions, I got them at the bottom. I'm a huge Matthew Stafford fan, but again, just not a lot of talent on that roster. And just given what they're going to compete with week in and week out. NFC South, Saints and Bucks, they're going to be battling back and forth for that division too. I got the Saints at number 1 though. Buccaneers are a team that are going to be so exciting. Tom Brady, what can he do? New offense, new everything. It's going to be wild. At the Falcons, year in and year out, you never know what you're going to get from the Falcons. So I got them at 3. They're going to be competitive. They're a talented team, but again, since blowing the 28-3 lead, they've been a mediocre to average team. Talented roster. Injuries have hampered them, but Matt Ryan has never been able to get back to that same level that he was. And then the Panthers. I'm very, very excited to see how this experiment with the Panthers goes. Bringing in Matt Rule and Joe Brady. Joe Brady's going to be the OC. He was the play designer and believe he called the plays last year for LSU. He was a secret weapon, and they added Teddy Bridgewater, who is looking to revitalize his career with them. So I'm excited to see what the Panthers do. Again, I don't think they're a playoff team or anything, but I'm just excited to see how things work, the experiment and everything. And then finally, the NFC West. NFC West, as I said, I think it's going to be an exciting division. There's a ton of talent. I think it's going to be a murderer's row, basically, with these four teams. I got the Seahawks winning it. I got the 49ers second. Shoot, I just went blank for a second. 49ers finishing second. Two playoff teams from last year. Then I got the Cardinals finishing third. Why? They added DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Simmons in the draft. They added some talent. Kyler Murray had his flashes last year. It's just they're going to be different. Cliff Kingsbury, I want to see what this offense can do. Something fresh, something new. Maybe it'll work. We never know. And I got the Rams at 4. I'm not a big Jared Goff guy. I think he's a system quarterback. The run game, when the run game's not working, Jared Goff can't do anything. He's a play action guy. That's all he can do. I don't know. They offensive line. They still got talent on defense with Ramsey, Aaron Donald, all those guys. I do like the addition of Cam Akers at running back, though. Florida State guy. But Cam Akers should be a lot of fun to watch for that team. But it's just going to be a tough division. You know, the Rams and Cardinals both could go 8-8 and be right there at 3-4. It's going to be a tough division. So, yeah. And then finally, let's get to my 2020 player awards and whatnot. Most, some of them came from the NFL, and then I sprinkled in a few that I write about from time to time, or have wrote about the last 3 years. MVP, Russell Wilson. I think the dude's going to be insane this year. I don't think he's ever won it, but he's always been up there. He's always been talked about with it. I think this is the year Russell Wilson gets it. Offensive player of the year, non-quarterback, Saquon Barkley. Huge Barkley fan. Dude's a stud. He's a multi-dimensional, he's a versatile running back. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. Hell, he can throw the ball too. So I'm excited for him. I think he'll get offensive player of the year. Defensive player, Yannick Ngakoue. I think he's going to be recharged, rejuvenated to get out of Jacksonville. He's going to be with Mike Zimmer, who's a fantastic defensive coach. And it's a very loaded defensive team, so I believe Yannick Ngakoue will be defensive player of the year. Offensive rookie of the year, Jerry Jeudy. I said it from the draft. This dude's going to make an immediate impact with the Denver Broncos. I'm very excited to watch him play. I'm very excited to watch Denver play. But Jerry Jeudy, that's going to be an instant impact player. Him, Cortland Sutton. You have Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler. That's an interesting trio. Then you have Noah Fant at tight end. I mean, the Denver Broncos team is going to be exciting, but I do think Jeudy alone is going to draw a lot of attention. And yeah, offensive player of the year. Or offensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year, Isaiah Simmons. The dude was all over the place for Clemson. I think he'll do the same thing for the Cardinals. So that'll be exciting. My surprise team, as I said, the Arizona Cardinals. Just given what they added, Cliff Kingsbury, the experiment of the air raid and everything, how will that turn out? So they're my surprise team. My disappointing team, Houston Texans. Again, Deshaun Watson will not be a disappointment. But the team as a whole, I just don't think they'll have enough to week in and week out win tight games or just have the firepower necessarily to always, win games and whatnot. So I got them as my disappointing team. I'm not saying they're going to be horrible, but, they've been in the playoffs the last 3 or 4 years, and I just think they miss out on the playoffs this year. Comeback player, Cam Newton. Cam Newton has been down in the dumps for the past year, basically. He's been in the dumps past year and a half. So he had been on an 8-game losing streak prior to being benched last season. It's just been rough on him. I think injuries piled up. The offensive system, just everything around him was kind of crumbling. I think getting a fresh start in New England, even though I don't believe New England will be all that good this year, I do think it'll be good for Cam Newton, have a new offensive coordinator, just a new system, just new energy. So I think that'll be good for Cam. And then most improved player, Miles Sanders, Philadelphia Eagles running back. He was fantastic last year, made a lot of big plays, had some fumble issues early on, but really came into his own late in the season. I think he has the potential to be something special for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not saying he's going to be like Saquon Barkley, but he's got that kind of style. He can catch it, he can run it. He's a very versatile back, and so I got him as my most improved. Very excited to see what he'll do. So this has been my little rundown spiel. I have everything posted this afternoon on all my pages, leaderofthepacksports.wordpress.com and my Leader of the Pack Sports Talk Facebook page. Check it out, give it a like, give it a share. Just, yeah, and as I said, I plan on doing these throughout the season. Maybe they will be live instead of recorded or whatever. So stay tuned for these. Be on the lookout for all the articles I'm putting out. And again, if you want me to write something for your team, let me know and I'll put something together, or I'll watch them that week and we'll figure it out. But stay tuned. I got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of exciting stuff, and let's make it happen, man. Happy football season, y'all. See ya.